Radiant team ban. Dire team ban.
Hello everybody and welcome to Game 2 between Shazam and Gossip Girls. I'm Llama Down Under. I'm joined by Pax. Are you as surprised as I don't know. I wasn't expecting them to take it.
No, I was pretty sure that they were just going to kind of close out the map for Shazam. It's not even like the fact that they came back and won it, but for me it just didn't happen the way I would have kind of expected it. You kind of envisioned some sort of big chrono into a major Sandy's Eclipse or something, and you're like, that's got to be the only way they get back into this, right? But instead it was kind of just, again, it wasn't really team fights, was it? It was just slow one-by-one pickoffs. The Roshan was a massive point there, just, you know, Brax and diving right back in there, trying to go for that play, as well as the fact that having that Invis Void obviously giving them a major advantage coming into it. But all in all, that's Dota 2. There's always a little bit of RNG involved when it comes to some runes, when it comes to every single one of your little right clicks, so it would be a lot more boring without it. I don't know if we'd be able to play so many games, so it's all right now, though. That's in the past. Moving on to game number 2. So far, none of our familiar faces have been removed yet.
Yeah, no bans on Faceless Void, no bans getting rid of that Doxia. It's gonna be OD picked up by Shazam. Maybe they'll have MSS say, here's how you do it. And Gossip Girls, they're just gonna pick up the Invoker now. We've discussed this before, but Dota always has a little bit of mind games. I think sometimes it's funny when you try to draft mind games your teams. We've seen teams pick the exact same lineup to beat a team with it. We've seen them take their opponent's lineup to beat the team with it. I don't think that they will do anything in particular here. I don't know if they would rather run the Doxy or the Faceless Void again, but would be pretty funny to see Gossip Girls and Shazam just kind of flip, try to mind game each other.
If I'm Blade 9, I think I'm taking that Faceless again, honestly, just because of the way, like, Frempo had one of the worst starts you can have on a Faceless Void. You're going to know how they're going to respond to it a little bit better. You're already kind of warmed up, you know, you're feeling pretty fresh. On the other hand, some people don't really like to go right back into the same mindset. You might think they're going to draft more on focusing it, but I guess they want it, so I'm down with that. It's really good with the Joker, just as good, if not better, than it is with the OD. So similarly, I think Shazam would be just as happy as getting the Darkseer too. It's something they've been playing a lot. That was their first loss in a long time that we talked about. So, oh my goodness, who it is? He slipped through. Well, that's even better.
He's gonna make it in, and so Earth Spirit's gonna be what's picked up now. Similar role to Tusk, expecting to see him in all the different lanes, and now not the easiest way to deal with the Tusk is when you're the the Earth Spirit, or Tusk when you're an OD. So we'll see if this Invoker ends up getting picked up. If your Gossip Girls do go again for someone like the Dazzle, who was so helpful in that early game, salvaging a lot of those early engagements for Gossip Girl, or do you try to look for more things to either set up Sunstrikes for your Invoker like a Tusk, or damage to go in your Chronosphere like a Clinks?
Yeah, I think for now I'd be looking towards the Witch Doctor, not only because of that Chronosphere damage with the Death Ward, but it's so good against Earth Spirit when he tries to roll in like really aggressively. On the side of Shazam, I'm looking towards the Darkseer again. If it doesn't get banned out, you have the Earth Spirit to slap that Iron Shell on top of. It's a great hero to show up in your lane and help you out, get some quick, easy kills, as well as the Vengeful Spirit. Still not banned out right now. Gives you a lot of flexibility in your draft, and also gives you that lovely little swap into the Chronosphere. So they are going to lose the Witch Doctor. I think that was a pretty obvious like anti-aggro support, as well as helping out. So I kind of like what you were mentioning, the Dazzle too. If they want to play that again, throw that into another one of our games.
I mean, it did a lot of work. As much as we joked about the kind of lack of synergy that I feel was on Gossip Girl's lineup, or big wombo combo synergy, the individual heroes did a lot of work. The Dazzle, I think, salvaged entirely their early game. They would have been losing much harder because there were a lot of very nice gank attacks by the Tusk. Savage was showing up there on Shazam. And then it was Spirit Breaker, it felt, who really helped, and of course Faceless Void too, but Bloody Nine setting up a lot of those things later in the game for Gossip Girls. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do something else just to say, hey, let's make sure we do not get destroyed in the early game.
Yeah. Where's the Nature Prophet picks up? I thought that hero was like on top of the world for a while, right up there with Invokers, so prize is getting ignored here. I guess both teams just preferring some of these other offlaners.
I think, as you mentioned, obviously didn't show up last game since both teams picked their offlaners super early. This game, there's still room for it on Shazam, and it is something that we've seen them pick up. Lion gonna make it on through, so Gossip Girls will get that super useful hero. And it's another one, might be what helps salvage their early game, since a Lion TPing in, getting off a stun, should be usually enough to salvage or allow someone to run away.
Yeah, he's not too bad. Like, can't really get too aggressive as a lion early on, because you're going to be looking, you don't have like the biggest range. But if it's an earth rolling in on you, you see defensive capabilities with spikes. So I like that. Benj, no surprise here for Shazam. I think that's probably the most obvious pick I already mentioned. So I'm really digging their draft. I think it's a little bit simple in some sense, but look at the heroes they have. They have OD, Earth Spirit, and Vengeful Spirit. I would consider these like 3 of the best heroes right now. Although I would rank Invoker and Faces Void probably over the myself, but in the roles that they're looking at here, I like what they're rolling with.
5 seconds remaining.
Now this Venge, I really hope it's a support Venge. It might be the carry Venge that has still been showing up some. You think there's any chance of that on Shazam?
Nah, I would say it's like 95% chance it's gonna be the support. I'd be pretty shocked if they went back. It would have to be like a really nasty trick with like a well, I guess Beastmaster. Yeah, Beastmaster's like gone. I just can't see it happening. they need more auras or something.
I agree. I'm not. It's not that, or I just think that Ben, she's so single target oriented versus, Gyrocopter has at least got the flat cannon. Juggernaut can go for the Battle Fury. Sven has Cleave. It just feels like she doesn't get the work done. But a strong support coming out here for Shazam. Gossip Girls taking their time with their response. Kind of hoping for. What were you saying?
Oh, I was gonna say I think it'll be the Ember. Well, I would like the Ember. Solid here. I don't know if it's something. Listen, they've run it a couple times. Oh, they have run it with the Void once here, but they'll go right back for that Jug. I mean, after a game like that, can you really blame them? They couldn't pressure him at all.
Although Shazam do have the beginnings of what could be a very scary aggro tri-lane if they want to run into that Jug. Obviously, you get 2 seconds slow on Earth Spirit. You've also got the stun. You can pretty much pick up any support in that safe lane for Gossip Girls.
Yeah, that's true. They still have the option of that Disruptor again. Like, they did lose the game on Shazam's side with it, but you could just see how much work Fun was able to put in, so that's something that Gossip Girls are also, towards running. I wouldn't be opposed. The other interesting one they do is they do that support Earthshaker, which I thought was really cool. But they do tend to do it with like an OD in the mid lane, or they did it with the Alchemist in the mid lane too. It's just someone who is more vulnerable, I think, than the Invoker in some sense, but I do like to see it. It's kind of unique, right?
I mean, unique 10 patches ago, whatever you want to call it. I think another thing Gossip Girls runs, which I would say is really unique, is they've actually been running the support Tiny a bit more than other teams. You know how like support Tiny comes out and then it doesn't always work, but they made it work. It's how they dealt with freedom a little bit. It's going to be Tidehunter for Shazam. I really like this hero, but you have to get a lot done in the span of the Ravage, and I do think a Ravage doesn't give you enough time to get up those Arcane Orb stacks, so it's kind of just Ravage, and then you keep them in position for the Sanity's Eclipse, so you get a couple Arcane Orb stacks, but you're not getting it a lot unless you've got a Moonshot already, and at that point, it's like your OD's probably stacked.
Yeah, their itemization does look pretty good right now, though. Like early Mech Tidehunter, drums on the OD to kind of provide that attack damage that you are looking for. Be interested to see if they want to go for this like position 1 Vengeful or position 1 Legion Commander that teams have been rocking lately. I've seen it quite a few times with the OD just to like set that attack speed. Kind of interesting. It's a little bit unique. I don't know if this is they want to run. I believe Navi ran it during Dota Pit versus G, and it was used at Shanghai a couple times in combination too. A little bit of a cutesy play, but the other big hero that hasn't shown up would be the Phoenix. I don't know if that's something Gossip Girls are down for, but if they want to run that as like a 5th role support, that would be pretty sick here, combined up with your Faces Void as well as your Invoker. That would give them a lot of chaos potential during the team fights, and obviously, like, Ravage is kind of good because you can also create your own chaos and help focus down the egg, but at the same time, if you, like, use the egg right after a Ravage, that can also really help out your team, right? So it makes it more difficult for them to focus on them.
Yeah. I think that could be a strong pickup. I just also am concerned again about the laning phase for Gossip Girls. It did seem to be a slight weakness for them, and Phoenix, you throw in balls at people to help you in the laning phase.
Oh,
it's not the most effective.
Oh, no. You get level 2 Sunray and you point at that Tidehunter and he goes home. That's what you do.
That's certainly one of the options.
He's out of there.
I just worry that if Shazam did run the aggro, well, I guess they can do lame musical chairs. So, I mean, that's always a viable option if you're actually getting more of an advantage over the switch and your opponents do feel forced to switch. But yeah, you're not wrong. Sunray, I mean, there's that synergy, the fact that you can just point it at someone, they leave. They do go back for the dazzle, so all this discussion is moot. But again, I mean, I guess we can have pithy dazzle attacks into the chronosphere. I mean, there's some clear synergy with the weave and the jug again, and this dazzle did keep them alive to get to that late game where they just rolled.
I guess it'll just be the gyro. Is TC still rocking that gyro? All right, TC Morphling, nice. A little more old school.
Actually, something I'm really interested to see how they work with it. Obviously, Morphling really hard carry and can do some damage into a chronosphere if he manages not to get caught, but it's well, we've seen all big players come out of Morphlings before, but they do need a lot of build up on that farm. And if girls decide, you know, maybe this time they try to be more aggressive with the Juggernaut, get more done early with the Invoker, could be hard for TC.
Yeah, right out the gate, I feel really compelled to just favor Gossip Girl's lineup, even though I think it's pretty obvious that most people would consider Shazam the favored team. I believe they had pretty crazy odds coming into. It was like, yeah, 83% after winning at BTS. So yeah, pretty heavily favored in their end of the zone there. So yeah, I don't know. They just energy. You can really see it. Like, I look at their lineup and I see how they're going to win fights. Whereas I look at Shazam's lineup and I see Ravage into a bunch of right clicks and Sandy's Eclipse and some cutesy little stuff being thrown about by everyone else. But it's I could still see girls having a good fight without a good chrono, and I find it a little bit harder to see that without a good Ravage from Brax.
Agreed. And I think kind of something that's really been impressing me about girls is they do draft really well. Like, also against Team Freedom, we were generally preferring Girls' draft over Freedom's, which is pretty dang impressive. I mean, yes, they have some members of these. Oh, he did change his name to Sniper Dad. Did he change that in between games? Huh, that's cute.
Who?
He was previously Miracle something? No, Magical? It began with an M.
Oh, he was showing up as Sniper Dad for me, too.
Oh, okay, so probably changed it in the lobby, actually, and I just hadn't reloaded. That's surely why it crashed. Either way, Sniper Dad, dropping that Lena faces.
It's all your fault.
Yeah, it's not
Thanks
great.
Thanks a lot, Crystalline. Classic.
But I just wanted to say, obviously some of these players have been around for a while. They're all experienced, you know? But I think that when I see someone draft so well without a huge amount of competitive experience versus I think we can all agree that Shazam has members with a lot longer competitive experience, it's impressive.
And again, this time it'll be WWD getting the hate here. Oh, man. Run down. Kind of popped himself pretty early.
Well,
so
in
nice.
bottom lane, Brax is taking a lot of damage from this spin, but he is going to just backstroke away. What a guy.
Is there like a command, like, can I just set like a script to automatically use it every time the cooldown comes off?
Oh, yeah, they roll in, but WWD throws the shortest tornado. I don't know if this will get him away. A couple more auto attacks. Does he have a Fairy Fire? He does have one. He ends up eating and he calls nice. Onto MSS. The tower hasn't been aggroed, and now MSS forced to eat his Fairy Fire. So WWD giving back what they're dishing out.
SPG,
in
though.
the danger zone, yeah.
Just relentless.
Savage is like, I will roll on you and slow you for 80%.
I can't believe that didn't get nerfed, honestly. I really thought that was going to be the nerf.
There's still time. For context, people, kind of one of the most common gripes, I think, from professional players is the fact that Oath Spirit has an 80% 2-second move speed slow at level 1.
Something else. And the fact that it gets to level 4 and it's still insane is just something, you know. Like, what is that? 4-second cooldown? What is that? I don't know. Ice Rock. Come on, man.
He's just trying to help out the spirits, man. He's like, I nerfed one, I gotta buff up another. So either way, action in mid, not really going to be picking up. Taking a look at top, obviously we did see the Tidon to Suicide and took neutral to get home faster. He's still only level 1. Frempo having a lot easier time than that first game.
Yeah, this bottom lane looking pretty damn familiar. It's going to be Juice, hit Reeves, and the off laner just, you know, sucking it up here. Brax heads into that off lane, and you are correct, Frempo. Loving it up here. Also, again, going for a little bit of regen. I don't know if he had double stacks. I'm going to assume he only had a single tango, which allowed him to get up that early ring of protection. So, a little bit earlier on the Iron Talon this time. I mean, it can't go worse than last game, right?
Don't say that. Don't jinx the players. Come on. You know we say this type of thing, and then suddenly 15 deaths later, we're like, well, We've done goofed. Bloody Knight is just sitting behind the tower, waiting for an opportunity. I don't believe one will come during this DD. Well, it looks like Franco playing some footsies with Jason there. Jason Fun Oboe, whatever he wants to be called. Dunk Monster, there we go, sorry. We should be able to see another roll in here. Savage trying to get into position. There he'll go. There's the slow, and this time they have the Arcane Orb. Another Tornado coming out from WWE with the rock kick on through. He does have a Fairy Fire, eats it, but one more auto attack will come out. That's our first blood. And poor Bloody Nine unable to do anything from the sidelines.
Alright, this is nice. OD getting a little bit more help than the OD and Gossip Girls last game, so better start here for MSS, and not even having the boots. Like, it's pretty hard to get that kill before you have your boots. The early bottle and going for those earlier points in the Astro, now that he actually is a friend, you know, helping out this time for the OD.
Another thing to mention, of course, is that while last game, I mean, it feels like both of these games, Shazam has managed to pick themselves an offlaner who can fall back on jungling a bit easier. Also, I did not see in the lobby chat, I don't know if you remember, last time girls got pick. I think this time Shazam picked Daya?
I don't know. Let me think about how the pick went. Go ahead, first pick overall this time. It was the OD for Shazam, right?
Yes.
So I think they must have taken pick then. So I
And they
guess
got Daya, that's
WWE
really
would have
weird.
taken safe. Yeah, it is weird that
Okay.
girls took Radiant. Most teams do favor the Dire currently.
Yeah. So I was just unsure because I believe that in the first game, girls got preference and took pick.
Yeah, you're correct.
And that's also unusual. A lot of teams prefer Daya. Not important. Frempo up here. Just playing a little bit with TC. His farm not really being a little bit contested on TC. He's definitely lower than the Jug. And this could be another case of Jug coming online a bit earlier.
Yeah, I mean, why not just go for the same thing? Like, we had no pressure last time with a Tusk, and the Earth Spirit is very happy to just sit in that mid lane, and Tidehunter versus the Darkseer, I don't think they're going to be running any sort of trouble, so no Ring of Aquila required to start farming that Battle Fury once more. Rinse and repeat, don't fix it if it ain't broken.
Just make sure you hold a mango. That's my only wish. That thing saved lives. So...
And ended them.
And ended them. Not too much action in anywhere on this map. I mean, both games did have somewhat of a slow start. Brax just Iron Talon jungling. It's still not great. It's not really where you want your Tidehunter to be. Faceless Void already level 5 and getting lost hits up to 22. This is a much better start for him. Like, this is... Imagine what he, we saw what he did with so little farm. What's he gonna do with this amount?
I mean, this was him at like 9 minutes last game.
Oh, wait, we have a roll in. WWD gonna get the tornado up, but it looks like the stun. No, they do not have any detection? Question mark? Question mark?
Yeah, that is a Quaspex Invoker, so question marks can be thrown.
Okay, I actually, when I saw the sentry in mid, I was like, surely that's got to be a Dire one, but no. That is Radiant making sure that they have WWD protected, and he gets out in a position I do not think he should have.
Oh, SVG, at least coming down bottom, but kind of back to these offlane scenarios. The fact that they didn't even have to block off this camp up here, and the Tidehunter still got forced in the jungle is like 7-inch win. It just shows how well they're controlling the creep to live down on the bottom, and we'll make it to the tower now, so soak that up a little bit here, and no, it's solid stuff, right? Like, ideally, you want to be hanging out here, you run down, you get the tower, you go over, you stack the Ancients, and you have a dandy old time as Tidehunter. It's like one of the best heroes to be in that Dire offlane as. Not so much this game.
Yeah, I don't mean to hop on it, but it does feel a little bit like a different Shazam coming out here. Definitely played this first one the first game a lot better than this.
And well, this time the Frempo watch a little more active here. 7 minutes, and he's got that chrono up. He has the Invoker to pair up this time, but it's not the Exort.
He's getting some time locks onto TC. Obviously still hard to kill that Morphling in the Chronosphere. TC's gonna jump in on him, now transferring all his stats over to Strength. The Rempo, even with the time locks, not able to get much done. Game plans. Let's talk it. Obviously for girls, I feel like, as you mentioned, last game they just kind of sat back, wait till the Jug got big enough, waited for those initiation tools on the support, might wait for a Blink or an Aether Lens on Bloody Nine before they start going hard. But Shazam, again, their Earth Spirit even less effective than their Tusk last game, and I would say Earth Spirit considered a much better hero. Oh, maybe we've spoken too soon. Frempo should be going down. Silence on top of him as well.
Yeah, pretty obnoxious there. And when your face is void and you end up getting silenced for that Earth Spirit, it's like, damn you, other OP hero.
But that's 2 kills in 7 minutes, or 8 minutes for an Earth Spirit.
Yeah, that's it sure is a little bit like slower, but he'll take it. It's all right. It's a pretty slow game. And nothing really burning over on the side of Gossip Girls when they're rocking a Lion and Dazzle as 2 supports, and it's just because of that, it makes it a little bit hard for SVG, right? Like, more defensive supports means that it's harder for him to kind of properly process. At least he's not dying and not feeding, so be a little bit happy about that. Gossip Girls 2 kills down, but now they're going to be a tower up here. Jugman, getting there.
A little bit behind when it comes to golden experience, but this is really nothing that a team fight or a tower won't take away. Interestingly, we've had Invoker head over to the mid lane. Oh, sorry, Invoker head over to top and Faceless Void head over to mid. Not sure this trade-up is favorable, but maybe WWD saying, look, if you guys don't buy detection, I'll take advantage of it, because they still are not rocking any way to catch out that Invoker. This is actually...
What?
Is there any reason they might be forgoing the detection?
No.
That I'm missing. Okay, I'm trying to check. I don't want to... I think it's bad, is what I'm trying to say, but I didn't want to be rude. How does Shazam, a team who plays at their level, not have detection for ganking an Invoker? We're 9 minutes into the game.
Oh.
Maybe it's on that bad boy? Yeah, they do in fact have observers and sentries on the courier. So you're right, perhaps they just didn't grab them up on Earth Spirit a little bit ago. Maybe he had a clarity or something. We do have a smoke coming out. They still do not have the detection, but if they can do this fast enough, WWD will not have time to invoke or get off that Ghost Walk, but support's coming in. It looks like the same idea coming out from the lineup of Goals. Smoke gonna be breaking smoke here. Oh, Goals, they've had it broken. They should be seeing Brax in a second. There's the roll in onto WWD. He's back with the Night Tornado coming out, and will Sniper Dad be able to help out here? WWD getting very low, but TC hexed up, and oh, there we go. There's the Omni Slash going out. TC has nowhere to go. He's just gonna try to cut through the trees or something, but there is no hope. He has no tangles, and he goes down. Shazam caught out.
Man, I don't want. Claymore, you can just fire him up.
Nope. They used Omni Slash and a big old tornado. I maybe lost game getting to Shazam. Maybe today just not their day for Dota.
Oh, there is a little bit of pressure. Time for the maybe they can set.
Yeah. MSS is deciding to go for drums first. Another good stat item there. I think this would actually be a game where it would be good for him to go the Veil, but maybe expecting Earth Spirit to pick it up, because obviously there is great synergy between the OD and the Earth Spirit with the Veil.
Yeah, I think you're right. That'll be pretty.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Having his own.
Oh no. They should not, because they're not expecting Invis heroes, and I believe that they have not been. Well, they dewarded once in mid, but MSS not really able to capitalize on this.
Wait.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay, Frempo is here, ready, trying to deal with Black Cracks. It looks like Mojo didn't get anything on that top lane. And Frempo not jumping in, dropping that Chronosphere. Oh, never mind, I was wrong. They did catch out the Lion. Was trying to see if bottom was going to get the jump. So that's something.
So... I don't know, it's...
Go for me.
Down a little bit of Gossip Girls. When it comes to the down, love that. Spirit want to be roaming in. Look to fight with. So close. As long as they can maybe focus him down with that magic missile, max, so follow up right after. That build, right?
Yeah, I think even though Shazam took an unfavorable engagement, they've been doing a good job of not continuing to bleed all over the map. Although, as I say that, there is a smoke coming out. At the worst, it's looking like it might catch themselves some venge for supper. She's pretty much gonna get hexed up, beaten down. Oh, they even finger her. That's not kosher. While the push coming out on the top lane, Shazam in a good spot. TC, you know, he's getting closer and closer to that Lincoln Sphere, which will help him constantly with the Lion. Although, if girls get mid here in exchange for their top tower, they're going to be very happy with this trade.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna contest. I guess they have Ravage so they can try to. It all depends on how Frempo lands this, right?
Okay,
No
and then
pressure.
we'll see the stun coming onto it, and the roll. It looks like Frempo, he will go down. We got nice Ravage coming out there, and suddenly Bloody Nine running away, but he is magnetized up and looking like the chase is coming. Sniper Dad just gonna hide and TP away, leaving his teammate to die. A big overextension coming out of Girls and Death. Shazam have done it, taken back some control. But Bloody Nine actually with the stun, but Astral Imprisonment will bring him down. Oh, actually, they did need the lost hit because that's a level 1, but that's gonna be good enough.
Didn't get to be the cool ODs. That's like my new favorite. People have the Astral Max and they do the Astral. They don't even wait. You guys go back for it, but that's like my new favorite Dota thing.
Oh,
OD
you guys
never
don't
go
look
away.
at explosions.
Yeah, exactly.
So Frempo is coming in here. He does have the Chrono Spear, manages to land him onto 2. We do have a swap at the ready though, but EMP is gonna go off first instead. Brax looking like he's in a lot of trouble. Rock kick on through, gonna stun up Frempo. He's losing a lot of in here. He manages to jump over to the side. They have brought down the Titan under an Omni Slash for the swap out, and as this gets stunned up though, the spin coming on through along with the urn and the autos, and they will get themselves 3 for dinner. These team fights just back and forth.
Man, if I'm MSS, I'm like bringing the chains. That was brutal. That was like way of.
The ground targeting does make it slightly longer. I don't know how many units though, right?
Yeah, oh, it's quite. You can really get up. That was like last pixel. Solid stuff. Plays.
Really well done there from Girls, taking one back, not wanting to let the momentum be all in favor of Shazam. Although, as you mentioned, Girls, they gotta also have a deep ward to try and see rotations, but these maps pretty dark in a lot of kind of key areas, especially spots like Roche, which might become a point of contention shortly.
Oh yeah, it's so important for your OD, honestly. Maybe with a Morphling it might be more so. Generally it's something that kind of be fearless, run into the middle of that fight, really stack up those arcane orbs and dump that same these clips like right before you die. You know, you like I am down with that kind of stuff. Real epic moments coming from SS. In terms of securing it, they'll need the Ravage, which is back up shortly. They have the Blink. Brax going for the more aggro build. Who needs the mechanism? That's for the Wimpy. And what about the Gossip Girl? Trying to fight it. It looks okay with the Dazzle.
It's actually really interesting that he does decide to go for the Blink. I think deciding that initiation a little bit more important, making sure that they roast down Frempo or the Omni before they do anything. There's going to be an Astral Imprisonment here. He should be able to just jump on out. Time walks away. Frempo will be fine.
Nice deep here, but that ward helping out. He should be okay.
Yeah, I think, as you mentioned, the ward, TC getting close, he can... Oh, okay, we're killing illusions. Oh yeah, you show that replicate who's boss. Who's rule. Oh no!
Oh, come on, why wouldn't he...
Oh no!
He would have rolled!
Maybe they thought they EMP'd all the mana off of him, and now suddenly TC and Savage are standing on the sidelines ready to punish that mistake. Juice with literally no juice, completely out of mana, and the rest of Shazam saying, hey, you're gonna have to at least refill to come back in, and no Omni Slash this team fight. So maybe they'll try to take advantage of this one. The Blink, as you mentioned, is up on Tidehunter. That's just... We've seen that happen a lot with replicates recently, it feels like.
Oh, that is nice. Full EMP on TC. That hurts. Like, that is like, I'm out of here. He's getting arcane stuff, but power potential way weaker. MSS though, what a nice.
At the very least, I think this tier 2 is going down. WWD has been completely spotted out by the members of Shazam, and he's doing a good job of not straying up too far. Brax now showing himself from around the corner, although at the same time in mid, Freppo somehow, as a faceless void, doing a good job of pushing down that tower, and they glyph it, trying to make sure that they get a lot of damage, at least something, in exchange for this bottom tower. But now the TP is coming in, the glyph is thrown out, there's going to be a roll forwards, Frempo uses one-time walk to get away, and it doesn't look like Savage will be able to catch up, while we're seeing Invoker thinking about trying to catch someone in bottom lane, but unable to.
Yeah, so get that deny. Nice there. I don't know, I can kind of like last game too, but when I look at the network, already ahead. Last time he had to make a little bit of a climb to come back. Oh, Frempo, another Invis rune. This guy. They do have the replicate up. Shazam actually got zero though, and remember he can.
Oh no, he's going to just morph a bunch of strings. Do they have the lockdown? They even throw out the finger. They're going to need to throw out a stone after the hex. Juice is actually TPing spinning, and they have failed this game. Sniper Dad probably going to be the sacrifice for it, while TC sitting there on a little bit of health. They should be able to get all except for the Dazzle out, so that's actually not the worst that could have gone, but not how girls wanted it to go.
Yeah, there's no way that gank works unless you get the hex off immediately. That's like the only. Chronosphere, he's just gonna morph way too much strength by the time the line get close enough to, you know, actually get the silence on, and then he's morphing way too tanky. Tell the finger be used. Omni Slash got him, but
yeah.
I don't even think that would have got it. Roshan.
With Chronosphere down, Roche is firmly in the hands of Shazam. Now, it does look like Invoker thinking about doing something. No, he's just foaming up a storm. Had that Midas for a while, 1500 gold saved up, but oh, he does throw out a tornado. He'll smack Avenge around, but not ideal. And it looks like Goal's just gonna pressure on top tower. Another standard trade we see in Dota 2. You give up Roshan, you better sure as hell get a tower at the least.
Yeah, it does. I guess, right, like Brax is already starting to make his way up there. He's a little bit weak though. Maybe he's just heading home.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And they do end up with the Veil on the OD. I wonder if this is going to be Earth Spirit going back for the mech then, or whether Tide's going to build it up now.
Guess MSS kind of feeling that poverty level. You know,
yeah.
He's like top of his team. I don't know. Not rocking that Atos. Maybe just because. It's kind of nice to have that extra armor if you're going to be outside the Chronosphere, as well as all the other stats you get from it.
Time is money.
I can.
It's not a bad item at all. Also, the HP regen can arguably let you stay out on the field for longer if you're jungling so much. A little bit helpful. Bloody Knight getting very close to that Blink Dagger though, and Juggernaut picks up his, the Omni Slasher picks up his. He was going for the Manta, which I really liked here, obviously getting that silence off. Really important against an Earth Spirit, but goes for the Blink instead.
It's nice to get into those backlines, like on top of the Earth Spirit, or even on top of the Vengeful Spirit. Like if you can force an Omni Slash on top of her, I think you're pretty happy with that, just because the swap won't be there to help that Slippery Morphling is 9 up top and die.
Yeah, he's gonna go down there, and unfortunately puts him further away from that Blink. But one was just picked up by their Faceless Void, so that's something. A Bloody Knight way out of position.
Yeah, I mean, that's the greed. He's so close to the Blink that that's one of those reasons you're able to get up there to that, just because you're playing so greedy, you force the rotation. Very, Solo-esque, you know, on his Linas and Shadow Shamans. He's always way out there. Brax getting aggressive here, that ward vision.
Trying to take advantage of poor Sniper Dad, but Sniper Dad gonna be able to wander away while Brax just goes for a little swim. This tier 2 tower, girls have a rough defense. Oh, okay, ahead of them.
Nice, some classic FPS lag. The recovery. So where are we right now? Front he's down bot. He's got that blink, the blink up on Juice. So they're very mobile here. BWD. He's the Agnum Scepter. He's like, I'll let you guys handle this. I'll just sit back and throw my spear. Brax sitting on Ravage. That'll be 2.4 seconds of lockdown. And how are they gonna be able to actually capitalize on this? You don't have your disruptor, your nice little follow up here. Basically just Venge trying to find that key priority target and throw that high damage magic missile up. And I gotta imagine that's Jug, because once again, just stats. 1100. Tanky. I mean, rather, pretty
Yeah, it's the easiest yet. I wonder if they're gonna just try to trade it on Dolls. I feel like this game, more than Lost, had easier team fights for them to take, as you talked about, the slightly better synergy, but it's harder on the Tide. Maybe they're concerned about Faceless Void getting silenced up with no way out so far. He also could build a variety of interesting things here to deal with the silence. Their Juggernaut, but if they just keep trading objectives, we've seen that girls are able to push quite fast.
Yeah, I've seen all kinds of hilarious item builds on Facebook. We had the like Mjolnir. It was against bag, so it's kind of understandable. They had like a Mjolnir into the meta, just for also getting rid of the Orchid and Puck Silence, so kind of fun. And the Lotus Orb, another item that's kind of good for that stuff there. So they got the options. 29, does he? Before this actually happens.
And unfortunately, probably will not, I mean, unless something goes horribly wrong, will not be able to get it, and TC already has his Lincolns up, so even if Bloody Nine has it, he's got a world of things that he needs to do to TC. Hope he doesn't have a replicate up. Make sure he's not morphing strength by getting that Hex off through the Lincoln, so. But either way, we've got the push happening. Let's go take a look. It does look like, okay, the tower is already down, and goals may just continue up. They do have very weak. This is fine alacrity. It does things. And they will just start pounding away at that tower, but the blink out means that they are not going to go for it. This mid tower is still not dead for the line of goals. So they kind of won that trade.
Yeah, the problem I do see would be TC, like, he's replicate. He's got decent time left on it, but really all he has to do is push down the mid lane. There shouldn't be any way they can kill him. Maybe with B9's blink. Honestly, they really shouldn't be able to kill him at all, I don't think. So he can kind of push freely down the mid lane while everyone else puts bottom, or if they want to hang back and try and counter-initiate on someone who hops. Just that quick, trigger finger. The Lincoln's pop, you just hit it. You're out of there.
Yeah, and obviously TC, a player, lots of experience at that, so I expect him fully able to do that. Oh, maybe he jumped. Nope, he, as you said, Lincoln Pop, he is on out. Maybe they can catch some of these stragglers. We're gonna have a spam from Juice, but they do manage to swap. There's gonna be a tornado coming out. Does manage to hit two, and now monitoring not gonna hit anyone, unfortunately. But a good disengage, you could say, from both sides.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to capitalize with Blink Dagger on top of them, so still plenty of time. There's no real rush here. They got a minute and a half to try and make something happen. I know they'd love to just at least get this tier 2. Again, TC does return to that mid lane, so he's right into the E-Blade. Great game for him. They're not too tanky. At least the Manta can help with that. With the Blink Dagger, too. It's going to be a little bit rough for TC to actually make sure he's landing these.
There is going to be a tornado drop, but they start the Astral Imprisonment linking onto the back lines, and here it goes. Rock kick on through WWD. The Shallow Grave has come out. He's been veiled, but he should be full. Castle heals him up, and now there's going to be a nice Chronosphere coming out, but they should at least get MSS in trade, but they're just not doing enough damage. Stun goes on through. MSS still not dead, and Brax with the Ravage hits Frembo, hits Bloody Nine. Juice not able to get in either.
He's got the blink belt.
Okay, here he goes. He blinks forward, but still has not thrown out that Omni Slash. I think fearing too many targets, and they will take the tier 2 while they lose themselves the Faceless Void. There's no Ravage, though. So secondary fight here by Shazam could be disastrous. But there's a tornado coming on out. Brax just gonna blink out of it. Only TC getting hit there. They're ready to go in. Nope, WWD getting stunned by the adaptive strike. Bloody Nine in a lot of trouble here. He is getting beaten down by MSS, trying to juke, trying to hide. It's not gonna be enough now. The spin coming out. Where was the Omni Slash? Juggernaut not wanting to use it on the Aegis, but allowing MSS to get on out.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. Doesn't want to waste it, and I feel like he has nothing.
Oh.
Right.
Aegis did just expire. Brax playing very far up. They will have another tornado up. And this is probably signaling Shazam's exit, not wanting to go in, I imagine, without the Aegis, but no, they're sticking around. No, I mean, Ravage still not up for quite a while.
Well, I mean, they only have the tier 2 top, so I guess they just say that if we win this fight majorly, we can still take bottom racks too. In their eyes.
Okay, Tornado, not going to be the most effective. EMP Ida, so Shazam know they can sit up on the high ground without too much to fear. Gold does have another Chronosphere in 26 seconds, but it's a long wait, and it looks like after forcing the glyph, Shazam finally going to back on out.
Yeah, this is a little bit of an issue though. They had a big advantage that they're not going to have during the next fight because that Aghanim Scepter wasn't for WWE.
Radiant's bottom
He'll be
tower
able to pick
is
that
under
up
attack.
moment now, and that whole high ground
Time is money.
flying out at once. It'd be a much easier game if they make one of those aggressive plays. They won't be able.
Okay, we're having a little bit of a jump though. WWD looking like he'll go down, and that Aghanim's not going to be coming out any sooner. Suddenly, 1,000 gold away from it again. Also, I think concerned here on WWD about saving for buyback.
Man, that was even wardless. There wasn't. Oh, maybe it was maybe. I guess must come out, but hopping right on top of that is huge. If it forces buyback, there's like no way he can afford to buy back here.
It's really going to delay his item choices, but here comes the push. They do have a Chronosphere, they do have the Omni Slash, and they've got a Juggernaut pushing, but oh, the tower, it's getting so low, and Shazam looking to get themselves racks in a lane. Meanwhile, Juggernaut is hitting on that top tower, has not signaled at all that he's going to TP back. Shazam, they're going in. They know that there's no glyph since they just blew it in the last team fight. We're going to see the buyback on Invoker, but he's unable to get anyone in the Chronosphere because of the blink away, and it's gone disastrously. Black Frax even jumping on into it. Tornado will just delay things, but this Frax, it's going down, and with the Frax gone, they are getting back. Yeah, sure, their base, but this tower hasn't even been taken. They managed to cancel some TPs. Ravage only hits onto one. Now, they're returning it around the auto attacks, the time lock. They're going to sacrifice themselves the venge, while at the same time they have Juggernaut trying to work in on that top tower, but the Omni Slash has too many creeps in the Astral Imprisonment on the OP. He will not find anything. Rock kick on through. Should be Jug getting away with it. At the very least, he did get a tower. Oh, no, he did manage to get out there. That was still not a favorable engagement for girls.
No, they did lose the melee racks, so Dream is dead in some sense, but they did lose the game. The buyback from that is gonna hurt. They did recover pretty well though. He's basically back to where he started, so I must have picked up something there in terms of like a bounty or something along those lines. Maybe just helping out from some of that tower gold. And buybacks aren't too bad right now. It's only about 800. It's still relatively early in the game. He'll be moving up into that Aghanim Scepter. Everything's fine and dandy. They, one racks, it's not the end of the world, but with the Morphling, it's gonna be a little bit harder to keep it all over the map, and the more you get spread, trying to keep these lanes out push, that's obviously when Green Blade comes into effect. So these Blink Daggers gonna have to be some fingers on the side of like Juice, as well as maybe even WWD after the Aghanim Scepter to make sure they don't get caught out by.
And after Shazam's early shaky start, having some trouble making those ganks latch, we are going to be seeing them take firm control of this game. As you mentioned, Ward Wars being won as well by Shazam. I wonder what you go next here if you're the Juggernaut. He could go for a defusal again. I don't think it's awful here, but maybe something bigger and better in mind. Maybe deciding he might need a BKB for these engagements. Actually taking a crap ton of damage from TC.
Yeah, I like BKB best. The only
he
thing
plays
they
the defusal.
Go for it, is he?
I didn't.
It's really good against Morph. That's one thing.
Yes. But against Morphling, there's a couple other things he can diffuse off here that have been picked up by players. Obviously, even though the Mana Drain isn't the primary reason you get it on in this scenario. Oh, Juice is just being super tricksy up there, and we'll see. Lion comes in from the sidelines, manages to get a stun up, and that leads to a Chronosphere. Where is the Omni Slash that needs to go on out? It's killing off Rax, but no, the Astral Imprisonment gonna save his life, and there are too many units around. Juice silenced up, unable to spin here. He's gonna purge it off. Everybody tossed up in the air. They need to kill off someone. Juicy's trying to chase down MSS, and he does finally get him, but at what cost? They picked up the Earth Spirit as well. Juice spinning away, not gonna get hit by that Sun, not gonna get hit by anything over there. Sunstrike does manage to hit on the Rax. TC is hexed up here, in a little bit of trouble. Cooldown blocked. Can they get the pick up here though? He's gonna start getting away from them. They are trying. They've killed off the Tidehunter. TC will delay things with that Ghost Scepter, but he will fall. And somehow, Bills pull it out.
This looks familiar. I believe it was also around the there was a Roshan available that there was a disastrous fight for Shazam in game number 1.
It did feel like the side approach, what I thought was initially looked to be a bad move by Bloody Nine, working out for them, and as you said, taking Roshan, able to get some wards down finally on the map. There is always top lane for them to pressure on girls, having that tower down. Also, they did get bottom tower, some damage on it in that siege that felt like so long ago. So, one rack's down, but not out of it yet.
There was 3,000 experience hand fight. I mean, that's just insane at this point in the game. Propel him to even further heights. He just bought that diffuse blade. He's already into 24 gold. I do think the BKB could be coming out once that Aegis is, you know, kind of close to expiring. A pretty solid item choice to make sure that he can continue to get these really big fights off, because you really don't want anything slowing him down. He is one of their major damage dealers right now, and that kind of happens right when you do draft. You do lack a little bit of effort. He's no nature's prophet when it comes to the right clicks.
You can see how close it was last team fight, where almost MSS able to get on out, but they did catch up to him. Oh, Spirit working on that Aghanim Scepter. We're going to be seeing an Aether Lens picked up on the Venge. TC hasn't gotten anything new after that shotgun.
That's true. Where's his money going? Is it like on the courier or something? Just not getting anything done. 2 deaths now to his name and not progressing into that like BKB that we typically see, or obviously Shoddy, one of the bigger items, tending to look for.
I think it's a hard choice here, of course, because of the Invoker, but I might slightly favor the Scotty just because you can still go out so much. I don't know. Player's choice, and of course, Brax, he is jumping in super aggressively. He's like, I didn't use my Ravage. I want to use my Ravage. WWD is ghost stepped it up, but Brax stunned out. Not going in. Now there's the Omni slash Brax. He needs someone to share it with him, but instead, Astral Imprisonment will save the day. Juice gonna have to back on out. Still, Ravage not used here for Shazam. And maybe just gonna chill out a little.
I mean, it's already risky because you're fighting right into the agent. Can't take a risk. Want to go for this? Again, man, that's a valuable skill. I've been seeing it up against so many Bat Riders lately. Such a great way of interrupting some of these even bigger ultimates coming out, like that Omni Slash you could see there. So, I'm not sure if Juice was hit and he couldn't slash, which was a little bit interesting because that's what you want to do. But I guess he didn't see it coming from the hard to tell what it's looking like there. And they're
his
gonna
camera
smoke
could have
up
been all over the place.
forward. Oh, please no more shenanigans. There's no
going
way.
in. They know it's not the fake one. They're just running. They're backing out. Okay. Girls deciding not to take this engagement, realizing that they're running right into darkness. And we will slow things down again. Brax getting closer to that Shiva's God, and MSS, he's saving up a lot, although this one seems like an easier choice for what to go. I'm expecting a sheep, is what I mean.
Yeah, she's handy in the game, like honestly.
Just they need to do something about this Juggernaut, who actually should have no, that's Sniper Dad's business on the curry. Oh, Sniper Dad. Why does that name sound familiar? What am I thinking of?
Pizza Dad?
Is it just Pizza Dad? There's no other Sniper Dad meme? Okay. I think it's better to be the father of pizzas than to be the father of snipers.
I can't believe it's only 11-11, like, so kill games.
Look, let's just discuss how NA Dota, or America's Dota, went from being like super action-packed, a lot of which was being brought by South America, but also just North American games sometimes even would be slugfests between the teams, to all of this calm, controlled teams, you know, making sure they have map advantage before doing anything stupid. Oh, it's disgusting. These
It
people
really
playing
is.
smart, bombing efficiently.
TC appears to have like sewed the hole in his pocket because he's actually getting some gold now. 3k. They away these Juggernaut illusions there and finally maybe start building up into one of these bigger items that'll help him actually get something done in these fights. You haven't really felt that big impact. No, they want him though.
They do. They want him so badly. They're gonna pop his blink, and he is gonna be hexed up there. Will they be able to do it? He is popping up strength like a champion. Sunstrike off the mark, and TC is replicated out. Nothing gonna be caught there. Frempo thinking about dropping the ult. Actually, Titan is now coming in. Brax is there, and Mojo is here. He is gonna blow your face up. Oh, Frempo gets silenced up, and good day to the Faceless Void. All in the bottom lane, yeah, Juice is like, I want nothing to do with this, friend, and just gets down here.
Alright, well, we're getting that split in the map around everywhere, like, top lane, whereas WD are just trying to down here. That Aegis, it is about to expire, only 30 more seconds. I don't know if Juice wants to make some kind of a YOLO play, or something he wants to play a little cautiously. Don't get caught out there. And we're
Dire's bottom
Yeah, we're
tower is under
not the most exciting of ones, but as you said, I mean, it's very tense, right? Obviously, anybody overstepping, there is huge amounts of wombo combo. We're at the point in the game where Ravage can tone things with how stacked Shazam's heroes are, and a lot of folks, they do have buybacks, but the supports don't. So both sides might say, hey, we want to make sure we have that first. Aegis is going to be reclaimed, going to be I think I saw that was a 10-minute Roshan respawn timer. So a little bit in favor of the Radiant since they don't have the map advantage of it being over here. But could go anyone's way. I imagine the Roche will be the next big fight we see for sure. For that though, do you think smokes are the play by either team, or is it just advantageous for them to keep farming up a storm?
Yeah, I was just checking the inventories there. I don't see any on Fun. Is there one on the Earth Spirit? No, they are fully out of smokes on the side of SVG. I would expect them to get a little bit aggressive. It does look like the girls are going to opt for that. They do have that BKB on Juice. Definitely that's the right item choice. Not only for the team fights, but also just any sort of a base race scenario where he can see some sort of a favorable trade by getting that last Rex. Very effective for them. Just has to watch out for that bench pop, obviously. And we kind of get these sickle rotations here. Man, they are so deep in their own end.
Yeah. That is the final smoke for another 6 minutes or so. Let me actually just check. 7 minutes, almost 8. So this is the last smoke we'll see from either side for a while. If they can get the wraparound, they do know exactly where they are. Let's try and catch this. Okay, Juice has been spotted though, I believe. They're going to kick a rock out onto them, and immediately the Ravage comes out. Juggernaut blown up before he's able to get up his BKB. They dropped a Tornado, they dropped a Chrono Spear, but Frempo, where is your damage to help you out here? They're going to lose themselves a Lion as well, and there is no buyback on that Juggernaut.
Well, I think one could... as well as the fact that 0 deaths Juggernaut. I mean, Bagel now has one single death
I've been told. Well, we're going to see a little bit of a go onto WWD. They have very much got the advantage there for Shazam. This ward doing so much work for them. Tornado going to come on out. I'm not sure how girls are able to do anything here to stop this. It's looking like at the very least another Rax, maybe more. This tier 2 in top lane being their saving grace. We're going to see OD right up in their faces. Ben's threatening to swap. She's gonna get it off. There is the sheep stick coming out, and WWD should fall here. He at the very least does have buyback. That's gonna come on out. But Rax already down. Frempo almost blown up just by this shot.
Chrono in 5.
Okay, we'll see what they can do. It's just a ranged Rax going down now. TC gonna just stand there. Frempo is silenced up, though. He gets Shallow Graved up. Will he be able to find the Chrono Spear at the end of this? He's turning around, going back in. They're gonna finger down the Earth Spirit, but immediately the Sanity's Eclipse from MSS just killing off their poor little faceless void who has no buyback. What happened there? They all had 3 of goals, had buyback a second ago. And what was bought out to put them so deep in the hole?
Was it the bots on? No,
I think it's the BKB, unfortunately, was what did it.
There you go.
That one.
He didn't even get off.
Yeah, realistically what happened here is somehow his smoke, I don't know if he auto-attacked something or he wasn't caught in the initial smoke, but there was a rock kick on through that stopped the rest of the team from blinking in to follow.
Right.
So a really good play there coming out from Savage on that Earth Spirit, and just a disaster there by the Juggernaut getting spotted.
Well, Shazam, they finally cleaned it up here, you know, looking a lot more consistent, cleaned out the middle and the bottom racks, the tier 2 top lane. Gonna have to be clean. Finished off that last set if that's what they aim for, if they don't want to just end the game here. Oh, bloody 9.
Oh no, he is being caught out. He's in a lot of trouble. There's going to be a nice little savior there. And Juice coming on in, getting to pop that Monta. Now BK beat up. Too many creeps around to do an Omni side here. But he goes for it anyway. The swap, and he's just eating a creep wave. There's going to be an Invoker coming around. They should be able to stop this TP, but that was the entire Tornado just used for a bench. And are they going to find anything else? The rest of Shazam, Brax actually hiding in the trees there. They have no idea that Brax is at the ready. Ravage is going to be up in 1 second. And you bet your balls he's going to go for it. Juice is going to be brought down. WWD to follow. And this may just be the GG call. He is hexed up. Going to start to get auto attack soon. Sniper Dad on the backline is getting in trouble as well. The Shallow Grave. Oh, it's stopped by the Astral Imprisonment. They're going to lose WWD. And the buyback status, they do have one for the Juggernaut now. But the last few team fights, impossibly wrong for them.
Yeah, it's time to end this one. You know, they like they kind of had game number 1, right? But they couldn't quite close it out there. And girls, they had a great comeback, but not so much this game. Juice again led this team. more, but the rest of them couldn't quite keep up, and it's not necessarily the fault of players as it is heroes, right? You don't, maybe the Invoker's a little bit questionable in the sense couldn't secure him any more farm, but again, there was a lot of pressure. See the Earth Spirit and the OD just hammering down on them really early. Really have any opportunity to kind of split push on these side lanes. A lot of pressure coming up from Shazam, so interesting to see like where the next round.
Well, the final fight of the game, they're gonna manage to catch up. Brax managing to dodge that stone over that Frempo, but where is your damage? And Jude's just working on the creeps nearby, gonna do some cleave damage onto Brax. Brax, of course, does not have that ravage, so he might be the one who goes down. Shiva's delaying the action, but Brax eventually will fall here. He doesn't seem to care one bit though, and Aegis gonna go into the hands of the Dire again.
Nah, he's just backstroked to the grave, you know. No worries at all. Time we got this game, guys. It's fine. MSS now gonna be the fearsome one, and Cheese up on TC. That is just so nice to have. And who wants the Aegis really when you're more tanky? But pop that Cheese and keep rocking those E-blades. You know, hang it on the side, morph right back into your Agi and head right back in. Yeah. And now picked up for Savage here, so kind of plays he wants to make with down nerfed abilities.
Yeah, I don't think they're 100% out of it for girls, but the game no longer fully in their control. Sure, if the big overextension happens by Shazam, they can get back into this one, but I think it's almost 2 big overextensions in a row, looking like they might gank a replicate again. Unable to catch up to that hasted OD who's just flapping away. And unfortunately, this one not looking like it's theirs. But you know, this is a best of 3. They got another game to show up in.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get another good one. Both games haven't been like too crazy one-sided, especially considering what the odds like. Obviously, 83 and 17%. Definitely not what one would expect if you were prior knowledge of the teams and seeing how it's all playing out here. So, the laning stage went better for them. Quite as poorly for girls. I think you can kind of sense that the Invoker was more shut down than anything else really on the side of Shazam. TC didn't get active later Lincoln Spear, but in the end he's immortal. Right? It doesn't matter when it shows up. When it does, builds into that E-blade and threat now for them. So the wins. It's all about the chrono, and looks to go outside the base, catch him off guard.
As you said, this one coming all down to team fights. It feels like just a couple little off team fights coming up from goals. Brack's gonna be standing on that sidelines. Oh, he is right next to Frempo. Frempo actually gonna go for the TP away, but the Shiva's just gonna see him. He manages to get on out. And here we go. This is the final team fight. Unless girls can win this one out, Juggernaut trying to D-push as much as he can. Got Alacrity up on his face. And they don't, I mean, Shazam, they can come up and pressure. There they go. They throw out the F-blade. Making life painful for WWD, and TC ready to throw another one of those in 14 seconds. Well, Frempo, he's standing here, as you said, a lot of gap closing he needs to do. They pop the Lincolns onto TC. Frempo jumping in, blinking onto the back line, does manage to catch out 3. What an impressive chrono speed, but where is the rest of his follow-up? There's going to be meatballs dropped onto no one. Ostracized will kill off Avenge, but it's just Avenge. Ravage on the front line. They've lost 1. WWD in a lot of trouble. He needs to start turning around.
Alright,
He's actually going to be invisible there, but Frempo will go on down, and it was not enough. Juice standing there trying to fight them, but he used the Omni Slash on Avenge, and it's going to come back to bite him. GG, we're headed to a game 3. While Paxton, this series way better than I expected it to be.
Yeah, they found this Juggernaut this game, able to actually get some kills on him this time. He ends the game with 3 more. They've and just way made it a lot harder for girls this game. And although they didn't pressure Juice once more, he kind of got this earlier start. They started moving around the map, and really early forays into Dire side jungle came out from girls. They wasted a lot of time, but I feel like they traded more map presence